So while this monster was roaming classroom to classroom with his rifle, mowing down students, 4 deputies, 4 armed, uniformed deputies were sitting outside. They didn't get in there to try and save the kids. They didn't get there to try and rescue the kids after the kids had been shot. They waited for an entirely new police department to get there and go inside. There's something fishy going on here, folks. There's something going on here because I promise you, when people sign up to be sheriff's deputies, they're not doing so thinking that they're going to cower behind a car. They're doing so thinking that they want to help save people. So there was something going on. And this thing, Steve Israel knows the answer, and he ain't telling us. Steve Israel, this sheriff, he knows exactly what happened here, and he is not telling us. There's a rumor online that I hesitate to report because I don't know that it's well substantiated. This has more to do with sheriff's policy than anything else. But we're going to find out because something happened here where 4 deputies were sitting outside with their guns drawn and a monster inside massacring children, and they didn't go inside. Are you going to tell me that's the NRA's fault? You're going to tell me that's Dana Lash's fault? You're going to tell me that's my fault living in Los Angeles with my guns in my safe? You're going to tell me that's the fault of 100 million gun owners who weren't there, many of whom would have rushed the shooter and tried to do something, just like what happened in the Texas church shooting, where an armed citizen took down the bad guy? That guy was just an armed citizen, did a hell of a lot more than any of these cops did in Broward County. This is insanity. And I'll tell you something that's even more insane. Here's something that's even more insane. Again, remember, just a couple of days ago, it was this schmuck, Steve Israel, who was standing on stage amidst a bunch of the citizens from Broward County and shouting at Dana Lash and telling Dana Lash that it was her fault that all this had happened, that it was the NRA's fault that all this has happened, virtue signaling and posturing about how we just need to get guns out of the hands of bad people. Well, the guns were in the hands of the right people, but they didn't do a damn thing, according to CNN. This is the worst law enforcement failure in modern American history. 17 dead people because there were cops waiting outside who didn't go in there. So here's the case you're making to me, Steve Israel. Here's the case you're making to me, Barack Obama. Here's the case you're making to me, all the folks in the media on the left. Okay, the case that you're making to me today is the FBI failed twice to do anything about this school shooter. And then the Broward County Sheriff's Office failed 39 times to do anything about that shooter. And then there were armed people from the Broward County Sheriff's Office there, 4 of them apparently, and they didn't do anything about the shooter. And I'm supposed to hand over my gun to you? I'm supposed to hand over my ability to defend myself to you? Why in blue blazing hell would I do that? Why would I hand over my only ability to protect myself to people who are going to stand outside with the guns that I gave up and not rush the shooter? Again, the people in the media are just, it's Scott Israel, not Steve Israel, rather. The people in the people in the media have been attempting to spin away from this story all day. Now it's even worse, obviously, because it's not just one officer, it's 4. The way they've been spinning away from this, so Lawrence O'Donnell was the worst. Lawrence O'Donnell last night goes on TV and he says, how can you expect one man to charge into the line of fire, even if he's wearing a uniform? I love these same people who say that the cops are racists, the cops are pathetic, we shouldn't trust the cops, we can never trust the cops, and now all of a sudden they're the big defenders of cops. They only like cops when cops don't actually do anything, apparently.